And you think he's going to beat Jake Paul at this point?
Yeah, I think so.
I don't know. I mean,
I think so. I think the fight's probably going to be interesting.
Jake Paul, I mean, as of right now, for what he's doing, it's good for what he's doing. But once he fights a real fighter.
Floyd Mayweather Jr. has reacted to Mike Tyson versus Jake Paul and gave his honest thoughts on Paul as a fighter. Additionally, Joe Rogan commented that Mike Tyson is just like Bernard Hopkins, who also fought after the age of 50, highlighting the fact that such a scenario is very rare for boxing.
Well, speaking of Mike Tyson, these people that think that he don't stand a chance against Jake Paul, they're like, this shouldn't even, like, because he's too old. I was like, I think you're crazy.
Well, they're definitely uninformed.
Yeah.
Because here's the thing: he is 57 years old. He will be 58 when they fight. He has had a long fighting career. He has been knocked out by massive men like Lennox Lewis and Evander Holyfield. You know, he's had a lot of blows, and you know it's long past the time where most people ever fight. You know, the only person that ever fought competitively after age 50 is Bernard Hopkins.
Former boxing champion Bernard Hopkins compared Mike Tyson's fight to Michael Jordan, returning from retirement to play against the Big Three in basketball. Bernard revealed that instead of watching Jake Paul, everyone would prefer to see Mike Tyson battle an opponent.
What's the first thing that you would say to yourself? Michael Jordan comes out of retirement and plays on the Big Three.
I watch it. I mean, because I'm a addict of sports and stuff like that.
Would you buy it?
Man, how much is it?
Doesn't matter.
If it's cheap enough, it's cheap enough.
What are you watching it for? Because it's Michael Jordan?
Yeah.
That's the same reason that people will watch Mike Tyson versus Jake Paul, because it's Mike Tyson.
Joe Rogan also revealed that he is afraid of Mike Tyson because, despite his advanced age, he is still able to smash the pads with such strength and speed. Rogan was shocked to see Tyson's change following the 2020 bout with Roy Jones.
Tyson in his prime had been like reignited, whatever it was. I'm like, no, I need a wider table. I was nervous in the room with him. Like, you could tell he's ready to go. I don't give a if he's 55. Like 55 in 2021 is not 55 from like 1988. It's not the same thing.
Still hurt when they hit your head.
You watch him hit pads. Have you seen him hit pads with Rafael Cordero? It's terrifying. It's terrifying. Not terrifying because he's 55. Terrifying.
Jeff Mayweather doesn't think Jake Paul has the slightest chance of defeating Mike Tyson, the legendary fighter. Given Tyson's knockout boxing style, he was certain that if me prepared his body and mind for battle, he would turn into a true killer.
And you think he's going to beat Jake Paul at this point?
Yeah, I think so.
I don't know. I mean,
I think so. I think the fight's probably going to be interesting, but I think the one thing is that the last thing to go with any fighter is their power. And Mike Tyson is a knockout guy. I mean, and if Tyson trains for this fight and really get in tip-top shape, you know, I mean, and take this fight serious, I think Jake Paul's going to get hurt.
Roy Jones Jr. commented that Jake Paul lacks the boxing skill to match Mike Tyson, especially considering Tyson's extensive experience in the sport. Jones pointed out that while both he and Tyson were older fighters when they clashed in 2020, they had spent decades honing their craft. At 58, Tyson's wealth of experience gives him a significant advantage against Paul.
When you found out, because you've been in the ring with Mike not too long ago, and we'll talk about that in just a moment. When you found out Mike Tyson had agreed this fight, what was your initial view on that?
Well, I felt like it was for him a much safer fight than fighting someone like myself, because for me, it's like, yeah, we both older, but we both know the game. Jake is learning the game. So it's a little bit easier to try to take a chance with a guy who's learning the game as opposed to a guy who knows the game.
Jeff Mayweather was confused whether this fight would be an exhibition or a real boxing match. Jeff said that Mike Tyson is still Mike Tyson even at 58 years of age, and Jake Paul can't handle his punches.
Yeah, because I mean, if it's an exhibition, they can implement certain clauses where, you know, there's no knockout clause and things like that. If that's the case, yeah, and plus if it's an exhibition, nobody wins.
well, considering Tyson's, pushing 60, and Jake Paul's one of the hottest prospects in the sport right now. Do you think it's better if it is an exhibition for basically for the health of Mike Tyson?
No, I think Mike Tyson knows more than Jake Paul will ever know.
Jeff Mayweather clowned Jake Paul and said that he is not a real fighter since he has never fought any real boxer except for Tommy Fury. Jeff was adamant at believing that Mike Tyson has a lot of boxing knowledge, and he did that for a living, so he is still levels above Paul.
It means something. It means something because that's what he did as a living. And that's what he did as a living, and he's one of the greatest fighters in the world that ever did it.
Yeah, but he did it. Jake Paul does it. That counts for a lot too.
He does what?
He's a boxer, so he's
How
current
many boxers
though.
have you fought?
He's just
How
got
many
done
boxers
fighting a
have you
boxer. He
fought?
just got done fighting a boxer.
Exactly. 1, 2. He lost to one, and he beat.
His
beat
first
the other
10 fights, he fought tougher people than Tyson fought his first 10
one.
fights.
Yeah, sure did. He fought MMA fighters that don't know nothing about boxing.
Mike Tyson's coach expressed that working with a boxing icon like Tyson ahead of his bout with Jake Paul has been a lifelong dream come true. Having admired Tyson since childhood, his coach is thrilled by the unique opportunity to train a legend of Tyson's caliber.
For me, it's like a dream come true. I'm a blessed guy. I have worked with the guys, and I have worked with a lot of champs for all my career, as you know. And now I have a pleasure to train one more idol, guy that I've been looking for since I was a kid. It's the second camp, then we are working. And be with Mike is something much, it's not just about boxing, it's about life. Be with him every single day.
Tyson's coach thinks that Mike trains like a young fighter, and he puts his heart and mind into training. Mike Tyson never goes into a fight expecting a loss. He only goes into a fight if he knows he can win.
And you have to see Mike the way he trained. He trained exactly the same way the new generation trains, sometimes more than that. So it's no news for me. I was expecting to see Mike at least fight 2 more times. This is what we're looking for. And then when we hear about Jake, I say, man, Mike can fight against anyone. I see with good eyes what I can see in the gym every single day, his energy, the way he put his training is unbelievable. The people they have surrounded him, Mike can fight against anyone. It is what we believe. He never gonna put his name in something, then true believe he can go there and put a great show. I believe Mike gonna put a great show. He trained hard every single day. When he put focus on something, it's amazing to see. Like I said before, I learn every single day. I see his reaction about everything, and you guys can expect a great show.
Jeff Mayweather has expressed his confidence in Mike Tyson's power, highlighting that Tyson would only need one solid punch to knock out Jake Paul. Mayweather added that for Paul to have a chance, he would need far more than just one hit to bring down a fighter as powerful as Tyson.
I mean, I just think that, like I said, I think that Mike Tyson only needs one punch. Jake Paul gonna need a whole lot more than one punch. He's not gonna knock no Mike Tyson out.
Former boxer Bernard Hopkins expressed his reservations about Mike Tyson facing a younger opponent like Jake Paul. He explained that while he views Tyson as a true boxing legend, Paul belongs to a very different realm within the sport, one that Hopkins sees as less traditional and gimmicky.
I don't like it. Is it because of the Jay? I look at Mike, it's like I look at him different.
Jeff Mayweather believes that Mike Tyson's bout with Jake Paul offers a financial benefit for both, without impacting either fighter's legacy. According to Mayweather, if Jake wins, fans are likely to side with Tyson due to his age, while a loss for Paul would only highlight Tyson's enduring power. Jeff feels that it's a no-win situation for Jake overall.
It's beneficial for him either way. I mean, because no one thinks he's gonna win, and if he wins,
I think most educated boxing fans will think that he's gonna win.
Well, they ain't educated then.
I mean, I was gonna say, don't you think it's kind of a no-lose or no-win situation for Jake?
I think it's a no-lose situation for Jake.
If he loses, well, if he wins, so what? He beat a almost 60-year-old guy that hasn't been on a winning streak in decades.
That much is true.
And if he loses, he lost to Mike. A guy at 60 years old.
He lost to Mike Tyson.
A 60-year-old.
And that's like, okay, we all expected that.
Mike Tyson recently shared his views on the differing motivations among today's fighters. He observed that many boxers enter the sport primarily for substantial financial gain, unlike in the past when the mindset was often more driven by legacy or pure love of the sport. Tyson noted that it's easier to step away from boxing today, with fighters having numerous alternative paths to fame and fortune.
Well, financially, mostly, from what I see. 'Cause, it's all about, everybody wants to be a big shot, but they got to pay the price. They have to know how to handle defeat. You have to know how to handle being humbled, and not giving up. It's so easy to give up nowadays, They got YouTube, all this stuff. If it gets so hard, I'll be a YouTuber. Yeah.
Adi Oladipo loves Mike Tyson as a legend, and he got into the sport of boxing because of the former heavyweight. Adi believes that Tyson shouldn't be fighting Jake Paul. Oladipo further commented that Mike Tyson had his last professional fight in 2005, and he looked absolutely terrible, also mentioning the fact that he has slowed down dramatically with age.
I don't want to dig out Mike too much just because I'm a huge fan of Mike Tyson, and I got to love and got into the sport because of Mike Tyson. But Mike Tyson at 58 years of age shouldn't be fighting Jake Paul. He's not had a professional fight since 2005. He had that
when he looked terrible against Kevin McBride.
He looked awful. He looked awful. And then he had this fight of sorts with Roy Jones Jr. 4 years ago, and I think we all saw in that he slowed down.
Roy Jones Jr. has commented on Mike Tyson's upcoming fight with Jake Paul, showing a mix of cautious optimism. Jones thinks Tyson can take on Paul effectively if he manages to conclude the fight swiftly, preferably within the initial rounds. However, he is worried that if the fight drags on beyond 4 or 5 rounds, Tyson might struggle because of his age and stamina issues. Jones advised Tyson to gauge his stamina and strength early in the match to determine whether he should aim for a knockout or focus on lasting the entire fight.
No, I don't fear for Mike and how old he is. Mike's a very rugged guy. When I was in there with Mike, Mike still was hard to hit, and Mike still can hit hard as hell. So no reason to really fear for Mike. The only thing I fear for Mike is if the fight goes beyond 4 or 5 rounds, then it could get problematic for Mike because of his age. But if he doesn't go beyond 4 or 5 rounds, he'll be fine. So I think he'll come out, assess the situation, see how he can deal with Jake's size and Jake's power, because Jake does have power. And after that, he'll make his mind up as to whether he wants to go and try to get him out, or if he feels like he'll be safe to do the whole 8 rounds.
Floyd Mayweather has shown his support for Jake Paul's decision to fight Mike Tyson, noting that it's good for the sport of boxing. However, he also cautioned that if Jake were to face a seasoned professional boxer, it could have significant repercussions for his career. Up till now, Floyd believes that Paul has only fought MMA stars and not real boxers.
Jake Paul, as of right now, for what he's doing, it's good for what he's doing. But once he fights a real fighter.
On the other hand, UFC fighter Chuck Liddell shared that it's game over for Jake Paul if he ends up getting hit with one of Tyson's devastating knockout punches. Chuck highlighted Mike's strength even at 58 years of age.
Do you think Tyson has a chance? Jake, they're saying, is the favorite.
Yeah, if Tyson's taking a dive, it's the favorite. But if Tyson hits him, it's over. So, hey, by the way, last thing to go is power.
Interesting.
Last thing to go is power. He hits him, it's over.
So does it matter?
Mike still hits. You see Mike still hits.
Recently, Nate Diaz changed his stance on the Jake Paul versus Mike Tyson fight, stating that he will now watch the bout unfold. Diaz, who previously fought Jake Paul and lost decisively, had initially given his opinion on the fight. Additionally, Diaz began explaining the real reason for his own failure against Jake Paul.
Mike Tyson fight, just as a fan.
I like it. I think it's cool. I think Mike Tyson all the way. Like I said about Paul, I wasn't even. That was the biggest I ever been, and the fucking laziest I ever was, and it was hard. It was hard. He wasn't very scary, so it was hard to even give a fuck about. And I still think I won. I still think I lost two rounds out of the whole fight.
Oh, you got the guillotine as well.
Yeah, and then it was real. It's a done deal, easy. That could happen.
David Benavidez gave a major shout out to Jake Paul for securing a fight with Mike Tyson and said that Jake has the strength and youth to become a great boxer. However, Benavidez didn't count out Mike Tyson because Tyson is still a deadly fighter even at 58 years of age.
You recently stepped in the ring with Jake Paul. You guys seem to be buddy-buddy, man. What do you think it's going to take for that guy to beat a Mike Tyson?
I think Jake Paul, shout out to Jake Paul. He's a great guy. He's very dedicated to the sport. So I think he knows what it takes to beat Mike Tyson. But Mike Tyson's always Mike Tyson. Like you said, people don't have a plan until they get punched in the face. So.
Additionally, Hopkins remarked that Jake Paul has improved as a fighter. However, Bernard could not respect Paul for choosing to fight an older Mike Tyson. To earn respect from the older generation, Bernard believes Paul should prove himself against younger opponents rather than participating in gimmick fights. He views Paul's fight with Tyson as entertainment rather than real boxing, and he thinks it does not contribute positively to the sport.
Jake Paul, to me, had proven himself to come from where he started off to where he's at now. I respect that he's learned the game, but I will overly respect him if it matters. Probably don't. If he fight a non-retired, even fighter around his age that's active today, that we can all look at him like he really, really wants respect from us all around across the board, then it's different. There are boxing matches and there are boxing entertainment.
Meanwhile, Jake Paul's former opponent Tyron Woodley shared his thoughts on the Mike Tyson fight on November 15th. Woodley said that the fight was even on both ends, even though Mike Tyson is near 60 years of age. Tyron commented that nobody would have fought Iron Mike back in his prime, given his devastating performance in the ring.
Fight coming up, Jake Paul, and also the Mike Tyson.
Yeah.
Who do you think has this one right here? I mean, who do you have your money on?
It's a very even fight, to be honest. And it's even because of the age of Mike Tyson, and it's
Even? Okay.
I think it's an even fight because of the age of Mike Tyson. He's completely, obviously, out of his prime. When in his prime, most of his fights were almost attempted murder. So literally, Jake wouldn't have stood a chance. Nobody would even commission or sanction a fight against him and Mike Tyson.
Additionally, Woodley doesn't have a strong opinion on who will win between Mike Tyson and Jake Paul. He believes that both fighters can put on an entertaining show, especially considering the age group of their fan base.
And you know what? I'm glad I don't have to. Like sometimes when I commentate, sometimes when I analyze, I gotta have a strong who I think should win. But I'm gonna watch and I'm gonna see who's gonna win. They're gonna go out there and do the work.
Mike Tyson recently had an interview with Jake Paul's older brother Logan Paul. Tyson gave a brutal warning to any person who says that he is too old to fight.
People who are out there saying we think Mike's too old for this fight. Tell them what you think about that.
If you think I'm too old for this fight, you need to come tell me in my face.
Whoa.
I love you, Mike.
Same.
And I'm very nervous for you. And I care about my brother. And I know the path he's on right now. And it's ruthless. You got to take him serious, Mike.
I take him extremely serious. These people don't take him serious. This is what I learned through my 58 years of experience. Anyone's capable of killing you. So you should be apprehensive for anyone.
Jake Paul has issued a warning to Mike Tyson by mocking Tyson's sparring sessions publicly. Paul claimed that his own sparring sessions are superior to Tyson's, and he has been dropping opponents like flies.
Oh, Jake, did you see Mike Tyson
dropping
his sparring partner?
I was talking about.
No, I saw it, and I don't give a Sure, he's looking good. Sure, he's looking.
Moreover, Mike Tyson said that he is in better shape than any other fight and ready to take on the Disney Kid. Mike commented that he is good enough to beat Jake Paul and put on an entertaining show for the fans.
And as a fighter, where are you?
Who, me? I'll be better by the time of the fight.
In your head. Are you the fighter that you were when you were the youngest heavyweight champion? Are you still that guy? Are you a different fighter, or do you still imagine you are what you were?
Well, no, I know I never lied to myself, but I know I'm good enough. That's all that matters.
Jorge Masvidal chose not to comment on the Jake Paul versus Mike Tyson fight, citing many unknowns about the match. He expressed concern for Mike Tyson due to his advanced age, but declined to offer any prediction before the bout.
Man, I don't know, bro. I don't know, man. About that fight, it's just so hard to call it. You know, I don't know Mike's. He's 60 years old, right? Something like that. Like, damn, that's an old ass dude, bro. You know, and I'm not trying to rank on Jake because if you're getting the bag for it, you know, what could you do? It's just I heard it's with 16 ounces, then I heard it's not with. I don't know. There's so many things going on with it. I don't know what to say if it's an exhibition.
Additionally, Jake Paul shared his excitement about facing a legend like Mike Tyson, describing it as a dream come true. He mentioned that it's a remarkable opportunity to go up against one of the greatest figures in boxing history, comparable to fighting someone like Muhammad Ali. Paul also stated that around 700 million people would be watching the fight live on Netflix, with a significant number of viewers tuning in from Texas live in the stadium.
Yeah, no, a lot of people are, wondering, Jake, why are you doing this? Like, even if you beat him, they're going to say, oh, he was old or whatever. But to me, Mike Tyson wanted to fight me. That is an honor. He's one of the most famous boxers in the world to ever do it. Him, Muhammad Ali. And to step in there with someone of his nature is an honor. It's a dream come true. And it's going to be a spectacle on Netflix. 700 million people, you know, Dallas, Texas, AT&T Stadium. You know, it's going to be one of the most entertaining nights.
Andrew Tate, on the other hand, grilled Jake Paul for taking on an older version of Mike Tyson. Tate commented that there is no amount of money that can convince him to take on an older version of Mike Tyson, since that would be disrespectful to Iron Mike Tyson.
Would you fight Mike Tyson? Again, no, because he's now old. It would be an absolutely tragic shame to knock out an old version of his prime self. That doesn't feel fair. Prime Tyson would have ripped me apart in a boxing match. He would have beaten me, so to beat him when he's past his prime just feels dishonorable, and I feel dirty for doing that. So there's no amount of money on the planet that can convince me to fight Mike Tyson.
Do you think Mike Tyson can finish Jake Paul? Will Mike's speed and agility be enough to keep up with Jake Paul's youth? We would love to hear your thoughts. Let us know in the comments section below, and subscribe for more content like this.